Houston once famously sang that she believed the children were the future. Teach them well and let them light the way. Well, if that is advice we are to heed by, then the children have spoken and they think Facebook and Google is harmful. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here and you have to really like what you see, please do me a favor. Click that subscribe button and ring that bell notification. This probably doesn't mean anything right now. We upload videos on a near daily basis and you want to be notified of videos, live streams, premieres, all that jazz. So anyway, Business Insider had this article. Gen Z grads think jobs at big tech companies like Facebook and Google are harmful and refuse to work for them. Look, it had to catch up at some point. And by the way, I do find it funny how, yeah, you can share this on Facebook. click that and you can share it on Facebook and Twitter, LinkedIn. What's this? I've never known what that is, but whatever. Anyway, so it was going to catch up with them at some point. It's like the reputations of Facebook, Google, Amazon, Apple, all these Disney, all these big tech companies that for years have sweat labor shops, treat their employees like garbage, monopolize marketplaces, give consumers the raw deal, collect your data, sell your data, do terrible things with your data. They shadow ban you. They do all these things. The things with Jesse Smollett, which we will probably talk about this week at some point. At one point, people always said well, they're big, everyone uses them, nothing's going to happen to them. But at some point, people hear the stories and they're like, enough is enough. We don't want to condone this behavior. We want to produce something. We want to leave a positive, lasting legacy. And so they start passing over these companies. They go to startups like Uber, which actually ended up being far worse and didn't even pretend to be any better for the longest time. So let's look at this Business Insider article. Facebook and Google routinely hold the top spots for the best places to work, but some college grads couldn't care less. Generation Z college graduates, or those born between 1996 and 2010, of which I am not part of that age group, say they won't be applying to jobs at major tech companies due to concerns over company ethics, according to a new report from the New York Times. The last decade had no shortage of scandals involving major tech firms, including reports that Google had protected a top executive from punishment for sexual misconduct in 2018, and Facebook's revelation that Cambridge Analytica improperly obtained millions of users' data to serve pro-Trump ads in advance of the 2016 election. Because that's where they make their money, selling your data. I mean, here's the thing. People didn't care about their data until they found out, hey, it's been collected to serve for pro-Trump. Well, now you care about your data. Don't you? The thing is, when they collect it, you don't know what they're going to do with it. So, as a result, some former recruiters for Facebook told CNBC the acceptance rate for full-time engineers fell by as much as 40%. 40%, that's almost half. Almost half. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, the decline of physical media sales is looking pretty good next to that number. It only dropped 14% it dropped 18% this year, and then 16% the previous year, and then 14% the year before. I know, it's heading out, but I'm going to buy it as long as I can. As more Gen Zs graduate college, big tech firms could lose out on key talent. Many Gen Zers say they consider a company's social responsibility when looking for jobs and are quick to quit the firm if it doesn't meet their standards. By the way, side note, you got to be really careful about this. So all of you out there who are graduating, who want to work at the most responsible company in the world, look, I commend you. And if they do something that is absolutely against their values, you don't have to work for them. But just to let you know, if you be careful on the mountains you want to die on, because all the companies do something wrong. In fact, this is one of the things that my dad likes to tell me when he mentions when I talk about my hate for Amazon. He's like, well, Kevin, a lot of companies do this. What Amazon does, you're not going to find a completely altruistic company. It's like, I know, but Amazon's worse. They do it. They're not only worse about their inhumane practices, they do it on a grand scale. That's why I can't buy from them. But, other companies, I'll have to take that as a case-by-case basis. It's whatever you're comfortable with. But, for example, if you go to a company and you're offended that some people there take their money and they give them to Republicans? I probably wouldn't die on a mountain like that. There are Republicans at every company you work for, and they're going to give their money. And yeah, that means indirectly, when you're helping a company succeed and this company is paying these employers money, you're putting money in Donald Trump's pocket. It's just going to happen. Like, save your battles for the truly make or break moments. Here's what some of them had to say, though. The work you do at a place like Facebook could be harmful at a much larger scale than an investment bank. Bels Dogru, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, a computer science student at Stanford, told the New York Times. It's in the pockets of millions of people, and it's a source of news for millions of people. It's working at a scary scale. Google and Facebook once used perks like free meals and in-office massages to compete for elite talent, and for a while it worked. Ivy League engineering grads ranked Google, Amazon, and Facebook in their top 10 most desirable workplaces to work. Finance still dominates the top majors at Ivy League colleges, and jobs on Wall Street remain popular among the country's elite graduates. But tech's recent popularity prompted finance companies to relax their office culture, mirroring Silicon Valley. Though Google and Facebook landed on LinkedIn and Glassdoor's best places to work list for 2020, prospective and current employees disaffected with big tech could turn the tide, and these are things that these companies need to keep in mind. Now, here's another thing I think is going on. I think another problem that's going on is people are aware of how biased these companies are. They really are. I mean, I'm not going to get into it, but let's just say that these companies all have a single mindset. They have a set of beliefs, a set of values, and it's on one track, and you either get in line or you get out of line. There's a lot more people who are outside that line of thinking, several lines of thinking from these companies, and they don't want to contribute to that. They don't want to contribute to what they consider to be a negative stereotype, narrative, whatever you want to call it, about certain people, about certain groups, and they don't want to work for them. They just don't. So I think Facebook, Google, Amazon, they're all in for a huge, huge wake-up call. They are. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens with tech the more and more these kids decide not to apply and not to go to work for them. And again, as Whitney Houston said, she believed that children were the future, teach them well and let them light the way. They are saying they don't like this kind of behavior. If I were companies, I would seriously consider starting to change some of that, lest you find yourself with not so talented people working for you. But anyway, that's where I'm going to leave it. What do you think? Do any of you out there work for Google, Facebook, Amazon? I would love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.